Now we are having Ganesh Kumar sir, who is going to discuss about the preamble of the India's Constitution. Now over to you, sir.
Happy Republic Day for all. We are celebrating the 73rd Republic Day occasion. Okay, so today it is a wonderful moment for everyone who participated in this event and who hosted this event. And I am very much thankful for the persons who give this opportunity, a wonderful opportunity for me to share my views with respect to preamble on this pleasurable occasion. I'm very much thankful to one more time for our beloved chairman, Bhuminathan sir. So this is considered to be one of the most important event in the present day. Okay, so or 10 years, 10 or 12 hours of a marathon with respect to various platforms in terms of introduction of the Constitution, and we want to celebrate the Constitution in various spheres. So I want to share some of the moment, a small moment with respect to choosing of this topic. Okay, so yesterday our team leaders, okay, who invited me to share some values with respect to Constitution, and they give some of the topics with respect to what all wish you have to take the class in such a way. Okay, so selecting the topic is with respect with myself, and he said that a few of the members already selected some of the topics, and I immediately prayed myself that no one will choose preamble. Okay, so he listed some of the topics, and I prayed myself that yaru preamble mattu choose pannira kodadu. I want to share something with preamble. Okay, so for the past 10 years of experience in the civil service field, and I'm holding 7 years of taking classes in the civil service industries. Okay, so one of the most beloved part of the Constitution, எப்ப கேட்டாலும் நான் அதை தான் சொல்லுவேன். ஓகே, உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்ச பார்ட் வித் ரெஸ்பெக்ட் டு கான்ஸ்டியூஷன் எதுன்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா immediately I said that preamble. Why preamble is considered to be very important in this present context as well as in the Constitution means it has such a huge values, and it has certain things which seems to be more visionary in all spheres. Okay, so it was actually passed through by means of objective resolution. It come from the inspiration from the objective resolution, but it has certain values. Values அப்படின்னு வரும்போது, if you I can see it as a seed. ஸோ ஒரு பேனியன் ட்ரீ அப்படின்னு பார்த்தா, ஒரு ஆலமரம் அப்படின்னு சொன்னோம்னா அதோட விதை எங்க இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு சின்ன சீட், இட் இஸ் மியர் ஸ்மால் சைஸ், பட் இட் ஹேஸ் சர்டைன் ஹியூஜ் வேல்யூன்னு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா. வென் இட் இஸ் சீடட் இன் அ ரைட் பிளாட்ஃபார்ம், when it's seated in the right platform in the right sphere, it give a huge and humongous outcome. So such a things what we enjoyed now today. So 73rd of year of democracy, celebration of democracy is not a easy task. So it is not very challenging too. So that's why I choose the topic of preamble. So preamble, today our topic is with respect to preamble as a key to open the gateway of Indian Constitution. Why I said it is to be a key. ஸோ ஏன் இதை கீன்னு சொன்னோம், ஒரு கேட்வே ஓப்பன் பண்றதுக்கான ஒரு கீ அப்படின்னு சொன்னோம் அப்படின்னா, வித் ரெஸ்பெக்ட் டு இட் ஹேஸ் சர்டன் ஆஸ்பெக்ட்ஸ். அதுதான் இங்க இருக்கக்கூடிய ஸ்பெஷல் இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸே வித் ரெஸ்பெக்ட் டு preamble. ஸோ பிஃபோர் ஐ என்டர் இன் டு திஸ் small brief introduction with respect to preamble, I want to say one of the quote which is considered to be very famous from the side of Mahatma Gandhi, who said that. Okay, he said that it is a mark of wisdom not to kick away the very step from which we have risen higher. The removal of one step from a staircase bring down the whole of it. Okay, so it is a wonderful quote which was given in the Hindu Swaraj, a book written by Gandhi. He said that we should not want to forget our things what we are stepping stone. Okay, so அந்த stepping stone அப்படின்னு சொல்லக்கூடிய விஷயங்கள் இருக்கு இல்லையா, நம்மளோட படிக்கட்டை எப்பயுமே நம்ம மறந்துடக்கூடாது. தட் இஸ் அடுத்து வர படிக்கட்டுகள். Once you remove the base, okay, so the remove the base நீங்க remove பண்ணிட்டீங்க அப்படின்னா entire staircase will be fall down. So அந்த கண்டெக்ஸ்ட்ல தான் இந்த preamble நீங்க பார்க்கணும். So preamble அப்ரோச் பண்ணும்போது you should approach in the hindsight view. Hindsight view அப்படிங்கிறது அந்த காலகட்டத்துல preamble என்ன மாதிரி aspectsல டிசைன் பண்ணியிருப்பாங்க, in what aspects they designed this preamble. So for this I want to share some of the historical things, to share some of the historical things before giving an introduction about the preamble. So preamble பேசுறதுக்கு முன்னாடி I want to share some of the historical things with respect to ஒரு 100 years of freedom movement. That is 1947 அப்படின்னு we celebrated our freedom movement அப்படின்னா, freedom independence day அப்படின்னா, ஒரு 100 years பிஃபோர் அந்த ஒரு டிராவலிங் டைமை வந்து ஒரு ஸ்வீட் அண்ட் ஷார்ட்டா நான் என்ன எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ண ட்ரை பண்றேன். ஏன்னா அந்த ஆரிஜின் தெரியாம, without that core value you cannot able to celebrate the preamble as well as constitution itself. Okay, so preamble ஓட நேச்சரோ இல்ல preamble ஓட தன்மையவோ you cannot able to recognize or you cannot able to celebrate until and otherwise if you are not know the values of the historical things. Okay, so we all know that we are colonized for more than 200 years under the British rule. Okay, so எல்லாருக்குமே தெரிஞ்ச விஷயம் தான் the British rule. Under the British rule, ultimate objective of any freedom movement is nothing but we want to celebrate, we want to left over from the colonization. So freedom அப்படிங்கிறது it's nothing but சுதந்திரம். எதுல இருந்து அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா someone அப்படின்னு வரும்போது we are also aspire for the freedom. Okay, so freedom from the colonization, அது almost we accept. But one more thing we celebrated, we are aspired means nothing but one of the unique character ne solla mudiyum. So Indian freedom movement la one of the unique character compare with other freedom movement enna appdin kettingna, we will strongly said that it is nothing but we are uplifted both in terms of social aspects and the social inequalities we overcome. Okay, so we want to left over from the casteism, we want to left over from the fundamentalism. We see in various spheres nariya movements munala paathirukka mudiyum. Social religious reform movements started from Rajaram Mohan Rai until the freedom fighters Mahatma Gandhi and Ambedkar, through by means of Arya Samaj, Brahma Samaj, Satya Shodak Samaj, and Mahatma Gandhi's various movements for the removal of untouchability in various spheres, and Dr. Ambedkar who fight for the upliftment of the socially depressed classes. So one of the unique feature with respect to our Indian constitution or with respect to our Indian freedom movement is nothing but we aspired for, we want to left over from the colonization, that is we want to get an independence in terms of political and civil sphere, and at the same time we want to left over from the social and economic inequalities. So அந்த ரெண்டு கண்டெக்ஸ்ட்ல தான் இதை நம்ம அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணிக்கணும். இன் சென்ஸ் அந்த ஃப்ரீடம் மூவ்மெண்ட் வித் ரெஸ்பெக்ட் டு ஹவு இட் இஸ் கனெக்டட் வித் தி பிரியாம்பிள் அஸ் வெல் அஸ் வித் தி இந்தியன் கான்ஸ்டிடியூஷன். அப்ப யூனிக் ஃபீச்சர் ஒரு விஷயம் என்னன்னு சொன்னீங்கன்னா, அந்த ஃப்ரீடம் மூவ்மெண்ட் இட் இஸ் அஸ்பயர்ட் ஃபார் தி இண்டிபெண்டன்ஸ். செகண்ட் திங், இட் வாண்ட் டு ஆல்சோ அஸ்பயர் ஃபார் தி சோஷியல் அண்ட் எக்கனாமிக் ஃப்ரீடம். So that's the thing what we are aspired through from it. So on the context la we said that we are many freedom fighters who are fight for the both nations independence as well as for the social independence. And at the same time we also want to remember another thing, that is we are partitioned as Pakistan and India, all because of some religious perspectives. So through from some a fundamentalist approach we separated or carved our nation into two. So what are the things were in front of the freedom fighters? So freedom fighters முன்னாடி என்னன்னா அன்னைக்கு இருந்த ஒரு ஹெர்குலியன் டாஸ்க் அப்படிங்கிறது. So it is a new nation, we want to create a new India. So what are all the things rest with them, that are some of the challenges rest with them அப்படின்னு வரும்போது, first thing we want to unite India. Okay, it is a major challenge. So unite India அப்படின்னு வரும்போது, the challenge rest with India means it is nothing but we said all that unity in diversity. So it is a word from the Jawaharlal Nehru. So he said that India is a unity in diversity. So any nation, if it want to be a nation, it has certain basic characteristics, like which it have certain unique language or unique religion or unique race or unique ethnicity. So throughout, if you understand the formation of the nation, means it has certain basic unique system, but India doesn't have such a things. India is spread over by various diversities perspectives. So we are having multi number of languages, religious perspectives, then ethnicity, races, we are having diversified, though we are trying to unite ourselves, and we are now united also. Okay, so the one of the huge task in front of the freedom fighters or with the constitutional makers is nothing but they want to unite the India. Then second thing, they want to left over from the pain what they acquired from the partition. So partition மூலமா we felt a huge pain. Okay, so through by means of partition of India and Pakistan. So second task is nothing but they want to left over from the pain of those things, and they never want to do the same thing in future days. Okay, so அதே மாதிரி ஒரு விஷயம் அடுத்த காலகட்டத்துல வரக்கூடிய காலகட்டத்துல எந்த விதத்திலையும் வரக்கூடாது அப்படிங்கிறதுல they will very much clear in it. Then third aspect is with respect to they want to avoid some of the separating tendencies. There are many separating forces in around India. They want to separate India, carved India into various things. Okay, it's like in northeastern states they are having some separatist movements, and with respect to Punjab and other provinces they want to separate from India, and even to on some extent even southern nations also demand for such a things. So they want to overcome those challenges. And third main thing is with respect to annexation of princely states. ஸோ பிரின்ஸ்லி ஸ்டேட்ஸ் அப்படிங்கிறது மோர் தென் 500 ஸ்டேட்ஸ் மன்னர்களால் ஆளப்பட்ட ஒரு மாகாணமா இருந்தது. ஸோ தே வாண்ட் டு annex those states. Okay, so very challenging thing is with respect to Hyderabad and Junagadh and other things. So we want to do that one too. And at the same time, we want to bring some bringing some nationality into it. That's why we announced for national flags, national emblem, national bird, national animal. All these things are considered to be nothing but to inspire for the spirit of nationalism. And there are also other social challenges with respect to the freedom fighters. So social challenges in sense, nothing but we are having certain issues at the time of independence. Nothing but we are facing some huge unemployment. So unemployment over side irundukittu irundha or situation, then huge poverty was there, hunger was there. Then with respect to health indicators are very minimal, poor. So maternal mortality rate and other things are also facing many challenges. And the other thing is nothing but there are some social inequality in various spheres, especially through by means of casteism. So they want to very specifically overcome this challenge. So casteism. So through all because of casteism, we faced many challenges. Some discrimination, both in terms of in all spheres. So in terms of movement, in terms of taking on residence, in terms of holding any jobs, okay, and movement, everything got restricted all because of this casteism. And at the same time, there is low representation of people, especially in the depressed classes, in both in spheres of administration, holding the administration, as well as in terms of political, as well as in terms of education too. So in all the spheres, the casteism was deeply rooted and it discriminated and it left over most of the population from the mainstream aspects, in sense mainstream politics as well as in mainstream administration. So that thing they want to overcome through by means of social challenges. They have the rest with some social challenges. And at the same time, they are having some economic challenges too. Okay, other perspective in sense, they are having some economic challenges. So in economic challenges, what they are faced means we are having a poor industrialization. Because of colonization, we are having a poor industrialization and poor capital goods. And because of that, we are not, seems to be that much grown. Okay, so we are rest with in all spheres, we are facing some political, social, and economic challenges. So these are all the challenges what we are faced at those times. So the main inspiration of the freedom fighters, as well as with respect to constitutional makers, are nothing but we want to liberate from social inequality, political inequality, and economic inequality. So this is considered to be the foundation of the constitution. So such a foundation was enshrined in the preamble. That's why I said that preamble is considered to be most important part of the constitution. So it is a preface. Okay, so to an extent it is considered to be a preface. They said that it is preface. Okay, so so they want to left over from the political, social, and economic dimensions, and they want to bring some grassroots democracy in all the spheres. So that's why they in the sphere. Okay, so in this sphere they try to form a new constitutional assembly. Okay, so they try to form a new constitutional assembly through by means of formation of new constitutional assembly in 1946. So 1946 they form a new constitutional assembly. In the new constitutional assembly, please remind one thing: we are not recruiting anyone for making our constitution. So our Indian constitution is not made through by means of any recruited persons. All persons from all dimensions and from all spheres have fight for their freedom movement. So they aspired their values and their resolutions through from the things what they experienced from the freedom movement. So அந்த கட்டத்துல இருந்து தான் அவங்க அடுத்த டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர்மேஷனுக்கு போறாங்க. So they visioned, actually they visioned to make this India to be a new India. Okay, so new India in various dimensions. So for that they form one constitutional assembly. So the role of the constitutional assembly is nothing but to make a new constitution. Okay, so to make the new constitution, in sense the first constitutional assembly was formed in the date of 13th December 1946, and then resolution of this preamble was adopted through by means of objective resolution. Okay, so an objective resolution was passed in 1946, which was introduced by our Jawaharlal Nehru, so first Prime Minister of our India. So he quoted some of the resolutions. Resolution in sense தீர்மானம். So தீர்மானம் கொண்டு வராங்க. என்ன தீர்மானம் கொண்டு வராங்கன்னா, we want to create an India which seems to be more inclusive for all sections of the society. It seems to be more engageable by everyone. So the Constitutional Assembly, which was associated by persons who are from the various spheres, from various dimensions and various political life, and from the various section of the society. So from that only they created this preamble. So the preamble, which was inspired through from means of an objective resolution, such a objective resolution was passed in the year 1947. So the preamble started from the way of what they inspired from the objective resolution. So what the preamble says. Okay, so next part, in sense historical perspective lo konjam nam address பண்ணிட்டோம். எந்த விஷயங்களை address பண்ணிருக்கோம் அப்படினு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, why we aspired for such a preamble. So preamble அப்படிங்கிறதுக்கான values என்ன, so எதனால இந்த preamble இன்க்ளூட் பண்ணிருக்கோம் அப்படிங்கிற விஷயத்தை பேசிட்டோம். ஓகே, so preamble அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு விஷயம் அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, what is the real meaning of preamble is nothing but it is considered to be the preface of the constitution னு சொல்லுவாங்க. So எந்த ஒரு book, you are taking any book, okay, so irrespective of any book, if you are seen in the front page, there is a preface. So preface in sense what this book going to tell and what are all the things you can get through from reading this book. So things which was listed in the preface of the any book. In such a way, preamble is also considered to be the preface of the constitution. So as I already said, through from reading the preamble, you can understand the nature of the constitution. So just a preamble நீங்க read பண்றது மூலமா you can able to understand the nature of constitution in various dimensions. So in various dimensions, in sense it hold more than 395 articles plus. Okay, so 395 articles, 12 schedules, so everything is rested with through by means of an seed which was enrooted in the preamble. So preamble அது இருக்கு. அதை நீங்க அப்சர்வ் பண்றது மூலமா எதை உங்களால கெயின் பண்ணிக்கிற முடியும்னா, what actually the freedom fighters demanded for, what our actually constitutional makers aspired to fulfill or aspired to be a country like this. So எப்படிப்பட்ட நேஷன் வேணும் அப்படிங்கறத they will tell through by means of preamble. So that's why I said it is to be a key. So key அப்படின்னு வரும்போது I said this key is you can use it to open 3 gates actually from my interpretation. From my interpretation, they followed this preamble. Okay, so preamble ஒரு விஷயத்தை அவங்க எடுத்துக்கிட்டதுல இந்த preambleங்கிற கீயை வச்சு you can able to open the 3 gates அப்படிங்கிறது from my interpretation I concluded that. Okay, so first thing, what preamble says to the constitutional makers. Okay, so constitutional makers க்கு preamble சொல்லக்கூடிய விஷயங்கள் என்ன, that is how to make the constitution, that's all. So constitution assembly ஒன்னு ஃபார்ம் பண்ணிருக்கு. Through from that there is a drafting committee. So drafting committee was headed by various persons from various spheres. Okay, so it is a guidance to the constitutional makers to how to make this constitution to be inclusive for everyone, and what are all the things we should adopt before making our constitution. Such a things was enshrined in the preamble. Second thing, if you want to understand the nature of the constitution, very especially the philosophical part of the constitution, so the philosophical part of the constitution rests with preamble to fundamental duties. These are all considered to be the philosophical values. So philosophical values in sense தத்துவ கோட்பாடுகள். So if you are neglect the philosophical values from the constitution is nothing, just an administrative document, that's all. If you read from part second of the, okay, so in sense from union territories to other perspectives without reading the preamble to fundamental duties means it is considered to be a mere administrative document like any other. You cannot able to enjoy the liveliness, or you cannot able to set it to be an organic document. So especially if you neglect the preamble means you cannot able to enjoy the values, or you cannot able to enjoy the philosophical aspects in the constitution. உங்களால philosophical aspects அதுல இருந்து என்ஜாய் பண்ண முடியாது. It is a mere writing document which is only for the administrative purpose. அவ்வளவுதான். அதோட அல்டிமேட் பர்பஸே அட்மினிஸ்ட்ரேட்டிவ் பர்பஸ் காண்டி தான் யூஸ் ஆகுமோ தவிர வேற எதுக்கும் கிடையாது. அதுக்கு கவர்மெண்ட் ஆஃப் இந்தியா ஆக்ட் 1935 is more than enough. But our constitutional makers want to bring some values into the constitution. That's why they adopted for the preamble. and other things like fundamental rights and fundamental duties and directive principles of state policy. But one thing we want to remember, that if you want to understand the nature of the constitution, first you should know what are all the values listed in the preamble. That's why it is considered to be a guide for all the articles of the Indian constitution. It's said to be a guide. Okay, it is considered to be a roadmap. Through from that, you can able to get various things from the constitution. And third thing, with respect to it, is considered to be one of the important thing even in the contemporary times. So contemporary times, since in Samagala Kalakattathiliyum, in the preamble எதுக்கு யூஸ் ஆகுது அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, it is nothing but to govern the leaders. That is, it is an things what inspired by the persons. Okay, so the governing leaders rest with now. Okay, so இன்னைக்கு இருக்கக்கூடிய leaders இருக்காங்க இல்லையா, இவங்க இந்த country எப்படி வழி நடத்தணும் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்கான one of the thing. That is, it is future governing leaders of this nation. It will give some values for the persons who are governing these nations, like representatives like Prime Minister, Council of Ministers, and various secretaries, all those persons who want to know the values of this constitution. First, they should know the values in the preamble, because it is considered to be a fundamental. So it is rest in the fundamental law of the nation. So that's why I said that it is considered to be a key. So through from this key, you can able to open the three gates. So first thing, you can able to open the minds of the constitutional makers. That is, at the time of making the constitution. Second thing, you want to understand the nature of the constitution by means of understanding the preamble. Third thing, it is a guidance for the future leaders. Okay, from my perspective, I said. So everything is fine. Then what is the rest in the preamble? So still we will see some of the importance with respect to preamble. So we know the historical things, why we aspired for the preamble, and what are all the things you can able to get from the preamble, and what actually rest in the preamble. The things what rest in the preamble is nothing but it is considered to be only a 9 stanza. If you count in numbers, means it is considered to be a 9 stanza. Through from reading this 9 stanza, you can able to understand the nature of the constitution. For what purpose they are derive this preamble. Okay, so very specific, it is borrowed from US. Everything is fine. Okay, so preamble is borrowed from our aspiration from the US constitution. So US constitution, we aspired this preamble, and many of the nations, many of the independent countries, even on international institutions also having this preamble. Okay, if you go and search the preamble for the various nations, they will listed so and so we are aspired to do these things அப்படிங்கிறது அந்த கண்ட்ரியோட aspirations இருக்கக்கூடிய விஷயங்கள். அதே விஷயம் தான் இந்தியன் கான்ஸ்டிடியூஷனோட preamble இருக்கும். Why is it said to be unique? Means it is considered to be, it also try to sort out the social and economical imbalances in the country. Okay, still it is continuing. So that's why it is having a contemporary relevance. Okay, so what you can able to get from the preamble means, first thing, you can able to find from where a preamble or constitution gets its authority. In what way our rulers, that is our representatives, get their power, or from where they can get their power. It was enshrined in the preamble through by means of, it start from the line of we the people of India. So in this in this Republic Day, we have to remember ourselves that we only gave the power to the constitution to aspire for some of the things. So the source of power, where it derives. So source of power, it's nothing but it will start from we the people of India. That is the power given for the constitution, as well as the power given to the persons who govern our nations is through from the people only. That's why it is considered to be a republic and a democratic form of government. And it said that there are certain objectives. That is objectives in sense there is a roadmap. Through by this roadmap, you can able to achieve something. Okay, so you have certain means and you have certain ends. Okay, so Gandhi சொல்ற மாதிரி போய் சேரக்கூடிய டெஸ்டினேஷன் மட்டும் முக்கியம் இல்லை, போகக்கூடிய பாதைகளும் முக்கியம். Okay, so the way, the means is also considered to be more important, like an end. So what is the means? What is the means? Means nothing but in what way we are how to move this nation. So you can able to move this nation by means of, they declared that if you adopt this country to be a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic. So these are all the means to achieve one end. So what is my end? So end is nothing but I want to make this nation to be justice for all, liberty, ensure liberty for all, equality for all, and fraternity. So that's why it says about the object of the constitution. And the object of the constitution is nothing but a means and the ends. So means is nothing but a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic. ஸோ ஒரு சாவரின்னா, ஒரு சோஷியலிஸ்டா, செக்குலரா, டெமோக்ராட்டிக்கா, ரிப்பப்ளிக்கா நான் இருக்கிற பட்சத்துல நான் எதை அச்சீவ் பண்ண முடியும் அப்படின்னா ஜஸ்டிஸ், லிபர்ட்டி, ஈக்வாலிட்டி அண்ட் ஃப்ரெட்டர்னிட்டி. ஐ வில் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் ஈச் அண்ட் எவ்ரி திங். ஓகே, ஐ வில் ஜஸ்ட் கிவ் ஒன் ஸ்மால் introduction with respect to what mentioned in the sovereign, what type of sovereignty we are enjoying. Those things I will explain later. Okay, but and at the same time, the date on which the constitution got enacted. So it shares three informations. Very specifically, it shares three informations. One thing with respect to where it gets power. So very important thing. So very important thing. This is considered to be one of the most important thing in the Indian Constitution. That is a constitution where it gets power. So it's from the people now. Then second thing, what we are actually aspired for. So we are aspired to achieve our nation to be on justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. Through by what means? So if you accommodate this country to be on sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, then your country will automatically achieve on justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. And at the same time, the last information which shared or you can able to derive from the preamble is nothing but on what date, on which date we can able to, we are enacted this constitution and gave it to ourselves. So நம்மளே இந்த பவரை எடுத்துக்கிறோம், நம்மளே இந்த கான்ஸ்டிடியூஷன்ல இந்த பிரியாம்பிள் இந்த கான்ஸ்டிடியூஷன் நமக்கே கொடுத்துக்கிறோம். அதான் இங்க இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒன்று. Okay, in our Constitutional Assembly, this 26th day of 1949 to hereby adopt, enact and give our to self this constitution. நம்ம இந்த கான்ஸ்டிடியூஷன் நமக்கே கொடுத்துக்கிறோம். So how beautiful this. Okay, so இதுதான் இதுல இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு கிரக்ஸ், ஒரு சாரமம்சம்னு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா? So அது இங்கதான் இருக்கு. Okay, so இவ்வளவு அழகான விஷயங்கள் தான் இந்த பிரியாம்பிள் பேசப்படுது. That's why it is considered to be the philosophical part of the constitution. So sovereign அப்படின்னு சொல்லும் போது it is nothing but you are ensuring on sovereignty through from the means of freedom. So freedom தான் sovereignty. That is you don't want to be under the control of any external factors. So எந்த விதமான, so this before colonization சொல்றோம் இல்லையா? So colonizationக்கு முன்னாடி colonization அப்படின்னு வரும்போது we are under the control of someone. But now we are free from someone. That is we are independent. We can make our own policies. We can make our own decisions without interference of others. And at the same time, through by means of sovereignty, we tried that we set to be an independent nation. And what type of system, what type of polity we are going to adopt for? Either it is an autocratic form of government, either it is a kingship form of government. Again, Mughal கொண்டு வந்து நீங்க வைக்க போறீங்களா? இல்ல you are going to be an oligarchy form of government? No, it is not. Okay, we set to ourselves that we are sovereign. Now we are independent. Now we can able to decide our polity. எங்களோட அரசியல் அமைப்பை நாங்களே முடிவு பண்ணிக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லும்போது what type of polity we are rest with அப்படின்னு சொல்லும்போது we are rest with in terms of democratic and republic form of government. Okay, we adopted foreign democracy. So for the people, by the people and of the people. So we can select or elect our own representatives. And through from means of a republic, we inspired that the head of the state has only come by means of elected by election. Okay, so head of the state is considered to be a president. The president is elected, okay, in various spheres. He comes from various domains. Okay, so head of the state is considered to be an elected person. Unlike any crown, our king should rule ourselves. So we said to be a democratic and republic form of government, that is a people of our nation will decide who are all the representatives want to govern our nation. So through from sovereignty, we said that we are in independent nation, and through from democratic and republic form of government, we said that we the people will decide our future and we will settle our polity. And through from other things with respect to one of the unique context of the Indian things. Okay, so on the Kalakatathila, there are certain things which are very much needed for those times. Okay, so the socialist and secular things which was added in the later part of the constitution, in sense 42nd Amendment Act 1949 la in the socialist and secular அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு விஷயத்தை include பண்ணிருப்பாங்க. So why they included socialist and secular things means nothing but through from secularism we said that we are not abide with any religion, and no religion can intervene in the affairs of the state. So that's the value of secularism. The secularism said that in no way the government or state will interfere in the affairs of the religion, as well as religion should not intervene in the affairs of the state. So it is a mutual agreement. But we are adopted for a positive secularism. Positive secularism in sense nothing but a state will intervene in the affairs of the religion, if such a religion, through from that religious perspectives, if someone face an inequalities. So if they feel some sort of social inequalities, definitely the state will intervene. If they face some certain religious inequalities, means definitely the state will intervene. So we adopted for an positive secularism, and at the same time we adopted for an socialist principles. Socialist principle in sense nothing but we want to left over from the economic burden. So in sense nothing but we want to avoid on concentration of wealth on few hands. So through from introduction of directive principles of state policy, we gave on guidelines to the nation or to the government how to make on policies. So such a things was inspired from socialist principles, and we adopted for an that is ultimately what we are going to try to achieve means nothing but we want to achieve on justice in terms of in all spheres like social, economic and political spheres. So we are left over from social inequality, economic inequality and political inequality at those times. From that we want to create injustice. Justice is nothing but a dignity. Okay, so everyone to be treated equal. So for the treated equal excuse me, we want to adopt some social, economic and political liberty or political democracy. Okay, such a things was ensured in through by means of social and economic democracy was ensured in the fundamental rights of the constitution. That's why it is considered to be a key. Yeah, the key nu solromna through from reading the fundamental rights from article 12 to 35, you can able to understand what they are aspired through from this. Okay, so sorry, this was instilled in the directive principles of state policy. Sorry, this political freedom you can able to achieve by means of fundamental rights. That social and economic freedom you can able to achieve by means of directive principles of state policy. So if you are want to read fully with respect to philosophical thing, means just refer the preamble and go and read the fundamental rights. You can get a good definition with respect to what are all the philosophical things we are rest with this one. Okay, so social and economic democracy அப்படிங்கிற விஷயத்தை how you can able to achieve means you can able to read through by means of directive principles of state policy. So on the link there is a connectivity for directive principles of state policy and the preamble. Then political, in political in sense nothing but a political and a civil liberty. So political and civil liberties are nothing but you have the right to freedom of speech and expression. You can able to ensure your universal adult suffrage. You can practice your own religion and belief, customs and beliefs. Those things are considered to be a political and civil liberty. From this, you can able to ensure through that the justice part is rest with the by reading directive principles of state policy and fundamental rights, which we inspired through from the preamble part. Then liberties of thought, expression, belief, and faith you can able to understand through by means of reading fundamental rights, especially Article 19. And from 25 to 30 of the Constitution, you can able to derive this. Okay, so liberty of thought, expression with respect to Article 19, belief, faith, and worship with respect to Article 25 to 28, and 29 and 30 are the rights given for the minorities. Then with respect to equality, it was enshrined in Article 14 of the Constitution. So whomsoever you may, the law is above you. So such a things we can inspire from the equality, that is equal protection of law and equality before law. So such a thing was enshrined in the Constitution. That Constitution, it is in preface, in preamble, they states that equality of status and opportunity and promote them among all. So it is nothing but it was enshrined in the Article 14. Then fraternity, it is purposefully designed in our Constitution. Why means to sort out the issues with respect to partition, to sort out the issues with respect to separatism. And we want to be independent in all the spheres. And we want to make a brotherhood feeling. Or sahodharathavata kondu varum. Yena, as I already said, India adopted, India's nature of nation is on unity in diversity. So how you can able to achieve on fraternity means through by means of dignity. How you can able to achieve on dignity means through by means of ensuring justice. So that is the beauty of this preamble. ஓகே, ஸோ அப்போ அதுக்குள்ளேயே கொடுத்துட்றாங்க டிக்னிட்டின்னு ஒரு விஷயத்தை எம்போசைஸ் பண்ணிட்டு அந்த டிக்னிட்டி எது மூலமா கிடைக்குங்கிறத அவங்களே உள்ள இன்க்ளூட் பண்ணிடுறாங்க. தட் இஸ் த்ரூ பை மீன்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஜஸ்டிஸ். ஸோ ஜஸ்டிஸ் பார்ட்ல இஃப் யூ ஆர் என்ஷூரிங் ஆன் சோஷியல், எக்கனாமிக் அண்ட் பொலிட்டிக்கல் ஜஸ்டிஸ், And if you are giving liberty to the concerned person and you are treating equality in everyone in every sphere, means such a person will felt on dignity. Through from dignity, we may sort out on inequality. If inequality got sort out, that means we can able to ensure on fraternity. So that is the beauty of this nation. That is the beauty of this preamble. And at last, if you are adopted for justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity, this is the ultimate aim of the nation. So if anyone asks, what is the future of your nation means, you can say that our future or our present rest with ensuring on justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity of nation. In sense, everyone to be treated equal. Everyone should enjoy their justice, and everyone should liberate on themselves without any arbitrary control over them. And if you follow this three trinity, this is said to be in three trinity, which was inspired from French Revolution. Okay, justice, liberty, and equality. You can assure on fraternity of the nation. And at last, we give to ourselves this constitution that is we adopted to ourselves. Okay, so from this, you can able to understand the what are the things futures rest with the preamble of the constitution and what we have to do for the next. So what are the challenges means we are forget this preamble. We are forget this preamble means we will only seen in our NCERT books. That's all. So NCERT books la first pages la you can see this. அதுதான் இங்க இருக்கக்கூடிய விஷயங்கள். Then how many of you aware of the constitution and how many of you aware of the preamble means very few only. So we want to educate in various dimensions with respect to what are all the values with respect to preamble. So preamble இருக்கக்கூடிய values we have to educate to ourselves. This is a part of that one. So Indian constitution it is an awareness. Okay, so அடிப்படை சட்டம் அப்படிங்கிறது it is an awareness to the people. So they should know the rights and things what they are expect from the constitution. So such a things you can able to give through by means of a small step அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா you can able to give it through by means of understanding the preamble. So if you are understanding the preamble means you can easily able to understand the entire constitution. So constitution oda entire aspects, philosophical aspects and the administrative aspects everything you can able to understand or observe through by means of preamble. That's the value of preamble. And at the same time, this is the right time for us to remember these aspects because global nations facing many challenges in various dimensions. One report says that 15 to 20 years there was no democracy in most of the nations. They gave a hint. Many political thinkers from various dimensions, they said that there is a dent in the democratic system throughout the nations. Some of the things was seems to be unfavor for the people of the nation, and there are many challenges with respect to in various geopolitical situations. So geopolitical situations like there may be a threat of war, okay, and then there may be a threat of capturing nations by the military like Myanmar, like Ethiopia, like Yemen, so such a things. And through from various issues with respect to some in negative sphere of social media. So social media through from negative spheres means social media is good, but to on some extent it was used in the negative spheres, such as that thing nothing but they hate some of the values which was adopted as sacrosanct. So preamble is we want to celebrate this preamble, but in various dimensions they will criticize this preamble. So such a thing should be avoided. And at the same time, in this pandemic situations, we face many sort of things or flaws in our time period. So we adopted for a new normal. So new normal in sense, we adopted certain things as a normal. Even this online session is also considered to be a new thing, but it is treated to be a normal. So everyone was practicing for this one. So what we can able to do from this, or how we can able to left over from this means we can able to aspire the values given by our political leaders or from the freedom fighters. That is the thing what ultimately we can able to do, or we can able to rest with those things. So everyone want to be a civil servant or in various dimensions in various spheres. So everyone should remember one thing, and you have all to take a pledge in the name of preamble that we, the people of India, we want to adopt this nation to be a sovereign, social, secular, democratic, and republic, and we want to achieve on justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity in all spheres. So such a move was very recently created in the Constitution Day, 26th Constitution Day. Our government was taken on Constitution Day. Then, in sense, it have organized for and read the preamble things, and they gave some certificates for you in the name of mygov.in. And many of the states they take it as a pledge. So take it as a pledge in sense like Rajasthan, and some of the states they take the pledge in the name of school students that they have to read the preamble in their prayer session. So in various spheres you have to accommodate various things in such a way, then only you can able to make this constitution to be more live, and you can able to make this constitution to be for a very long time. Okay, so from this I will conclude my session that this is the thing what we are try to give through by means of this wonderful occasion. Okay, so within this I'm going to wind up this session. Thank you for all.